This is going to be a nice, quick and easy Subli tutorial. So I have printed these out onto text print sublimation paper, and I actually cut them out by hand. Cue a little quick montage. I'm going to be using easysubli to apply these onto this mask. Now, the reason why we need to use easysubli is because this is cotton. And it's also a color, so it's not white, which means that even if you had to sublimate onto this, the color wouldn't come out that nicely. So what we're going to do is I have a design file, and what I have done with this design file is I have created an offset in Cricut Design Space on my computer because I can't do it on my iPad. I'm going to be deleting this because that is this shape, and that is the offset shape which I'm going to be cutting out of easysubli on my Cricut. So we remove the protective sheet, take our easysubli, which has a shiny side and a matte side. We place it matte side up on the matte. That's a nice way of remembering it. Press it down. What we need to remember with easysubli is that this is going to be going onto your garment exactly like this. So this side will be facing up. So whatever you cut out of the easysubli must not be mirrored. Whatever you print is going to be turned over and pressed onto the easysubli. So this, just like everything else that you would cut out of HTV or sublimate as per normal, will need to be mirrored. So we mirror the printed page, but we cut the easysubli unmirrored. Very important. So when we cut, it will be there and there. And this will then cut a little bit of the offset, which we will press onto our mask. So let's send this to cut. Now that that's cut, we're going to take the easysubli off the mat and cover up our mat again so that it doesn't get dirty. Well, dirtier. The next step is to remove the easysubli from the carrier sheet. So now we have two little turtles. To get these sections, you can also use print then cut on your Cricut or even on your Silhouette machine. If you're looking for a tutorial for that, I will link up the Silhouette tutorial. I don't yet have a print then cut tutorial, but there will be one soon. This next step you can do one of two different ways. You can either first press the easysubli onto the mask and then take your sublimation paper, place it on there and sublimate onto that, or you can line it up, make sure that you get it 100% perfect, and then sublimate and press it exactly the same time. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to do both ways. We can press this one on first, and this one I'm going to line up. So when it comes to this, I would suggest using a little bit of heat tape just on the edges, just to make sure that everything is stuck down properly, because the more heat tape you have over your paper, the more heat inhibition you're going to have, which means that those areas might come out slightly lighter than the rest. And this is of course very much eyeballing it. It is a little bit of a tricky business if you aren't able to print directly onto the easysubli, but the things we have to do. So I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to tape that on there, and I want the turtle to be going up. So let's move on over to the heat press, which is preheated at 190, and we're going to press this for 90 seconds. All right, so we have our little turtle, and we're going to, like I mentioned, press this at 190 for 90 seconds. But what I am going to use is a pressing pillow, because as you can see, these seams come up a little bit higher. So if we were to press it as it is now, some of the areas might not sublimate that nicely because they are not raised. So I'm going to be pressing that like this. Let's put it like that with firm pressure. So we're going to take this out. It's obviously super hot, so be very careful. I've got long nails, so I've got an added advantage. And there we go. Very vibrant colors, beautifully pressed, looks lovely. Okay, now we're going to do the other side, and we're going to do a quick 3-second press to apply the easysubli. Now the shiny side, as you can see, will need to go down onto the mask, and then the matte side will need to be up above it. So let's put this back in here like that and give it a super quick press. And now what we're going to do is we're going to place the design onto the easysubli. We can even use some heat tape to keep it in place. and then we press it the same 190 for 90 seconds. Okay, there we go. Number 2 done. Again, super hot, burning my fingers here. And there we go. Another beautiful press. So we have the one method and then the other method. So as you can see there, they both look beautiful. Of course, this was the method where we pressed it onto the mask first, and this one was the method where we placed it first and sublimated everything at the same time. So this method works beautifully if you have a little bit of an offset, as you can see, a little bit of a white border. That is a little bit forgiving when it comes to doing these types of designs. If you're pressing onto cotton, you probably can do a proper kiss cut method and then use the bleed feature to make sure that you sublimate over everything that's white, because otherwise you might have a tiny little white line at the bottom somewhere. The sublimation ink should wash out of the cotton in any case, as obviously sublimation ink doesn't adhere to cotton, but it may only wash out after a few washes, so might not be the best thing to take that route. Well, thank you very much for joining today. I hope to see you in my next video, and remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.